In this video, I would like to talk about import aliasing. So I have opened up a Gatsby project. This looks like this. So this is my personal blog, and before today, I have had apps relative imports. So if you go to SRC and let's open pages and index. So before this, like before a community, just now, like some time back itself, if this opens up, yeah, you would see that there were relative path all around the place, and now I have kind of like absolute path with import aliasing. So I feel like import aliasing is really powerful concept, and without that it becomes pretty like I don't feel very comfortable with having relative paths because like we don't know like one step back and what this is. But if you have absolute path like this, then I can just copy this line to any other file and it's just going to work. So that solves a lot of problems. So yeah, I prefer to use things like this for aliasing the path instead of having relative paths. So in the last commit, actually, I revamped the site with using import alias for all the components. So everything now has import alias, and if I see the diff, so it's about 29 minutes back. I have made the change. So let's see how we can do this in our projects as well. So just a few things to consider before jumping into this. So if you have a JavaScript project, so this is a TypeScript project. As you can see, it has TSX and also there is a TS config or JSON. So this is a TypeScript project. But if you have a JavaScript project, then your settings would be similar. But just one thing you need to keep in mind, that you need to add a JS config or JSON. So this is a TS config or JSON. TypeScript already, like TypeScript by default creates this one when you do TypeScript init. But for JavaScript, you need to create a JS config or JSON. Otherwise, VS Code would not recognize the import alias. So let's talk a bit about how what import alias is. So basically, you define in a configuration what at the rate means. So as you can see, this was the at the rate symbol. So you define at some place what at the rate means, and then so what at the rate means. So in my case, at the rate means the src folder, which is this folder. So I am aliasing at the rate with src folder. So whenever the compiler finds at the rate, it's going to convert at the rate to the absolute path of src folder. So our imports are never broken this way. But yeah, so that's a basic idea of using aliasing. But few other things keep in mind now. So we are using VS Code here. So VS Code also needs to understand this, that at the rate means src folder. So for that we need js config or json for a JavaScript project, and for TypeScript project we need ts config or json. So VS Code will understand this now, but VS Code is just an editor. But for the actual compilation process, we are probably using Webpack under the hood. So I'm using Gatsby here, and Gatsby does use Webpack, but that's not visible to us. So it's kind of inside the framework itself. So we need to make the change to Webpack, but in case of Gatsby, we need to use a plugin which will do that for us. So first, let's see about let's explore the TS configure JSON. Similar would be for JS configure JSON. You need to like you can search it a bit, and it should be similar. So in TS configure JSON, we need to put a config for path. So inside the path, we need to mention all our alias, and just keep in mind that this can be anything, but this has to be an array of string. So if you don't give an array, it's not going to work. So yeah, so I'm not sure why it's an array. So I think probably because the first one pays the second one, that's probably, that's my assumption, not sure. But yeah, so I just have one item for every key. So yeah, one item per array. So at the rate slash anything, star means anything. So at the rate slash anything would resolve to src slash anything. So whenever I say at the rate, it's going to point to src folder. When I'm saying at the rate component, it's going to point to src slash component slash star. And at the rate pages, okay, So I need this actually, pages slash star. Then we'll point to src slash pages slash star. Similar to similar is for config. Now you may define as many path alias as you want. I just kept 4 here. So yeah, so once I do this change, then our VS Code is going to recognize and give autocomplete features. So for example, let me show you the autocomplete feature. So let's uh, uh, try this again. So I will try at the rate component slash render post slash int. So as you can see, VS Code gave us autocomplete feature, and it's pretty cool. Okay, so let me do one more thing. uh, Screencast mode, so that you can see the commands also. Okay, now let's check what do you want to check. Yeah, I want to show you Gatsby config. So inside gatsby.config.js, we need to install a plugin, Gatsby plugin root import. So if I go to package.json and search for this, yeah, this is the project name, Gatsby plugin root import. So once we install this, we can provide an option to override the alias. So this plugin basically hooks into webpack config, and this would override the whatever alias we are giving here. It will override in webpack itself. So yeah, it's be sorted. So basically whatever config we are giving here, same config we need to give here as well. So because like both VS Code and Gatsby compiler, basically Webpack, needs to understand both of these. PS complete is for PS Code, so we get autocomplete, and inside Gatsby plugin root import, this is for a Webpack, so that it understands what these actually mean. So once we have this, and once we recompile our project, because whenever we make a change to Gatsby config, we need to recompile our project. So once you do that, these are going to work as expected. So and I feel this is really clean, and I can just move this to any other place, and it's just going to work. So yeah, I hope you found this video interesting and you learned something from this. So if you like it, do it a thumbs up and stay tuned for more such videos. Bye.